CDs, and those were really my passions when I was young. But I knew I had to make a living, and I wasn't sure I could do it following those passions. So my dad was an architect. I used to watch him draft in the basement of our home. And he would take me to job sites when I was a kid. And I loved to be there. I loved the hustle bustle of those job sites, the smell of the freshly poured concrete and the freshly sawn lumber and all the people shouting and yelling at one another. And my dad was kind of the guy they looked to for the answers. And I thought, wow, that's really wonderful. My dad was a great guy. He was a great mentor to me, and was a GI, landed on Utah Beach, and was an American hero. So I became an architect. And none of my comments will really parallel these slides, but you'll get the idea. So I've been blessed to work with places like Father Baker Museum at OLP. And every time I do a commission, I feel blessed to be able to help the people at the TR site, for instance, to realize their vision. And as architects, we have wonderful profession. I think it's the most highly, they call us the most trusted profession. So I think that's a good thing. And what we try to do is we try to create space that is, moves people. I think good architecture is more than just utilitarian, more than just keeping the water out and functioning to satisfy whatever purpose. It's got to say something to people, and not all architecture in America does that. Good architecture does. And I've had wonderful relationships with St. Francis High School in Athol Springs. My boys went there. I went there. My dad used to work there. And those are just wonderful relationships that I value so much. And to be able to work to shape that campus and to do work at the Newman Center at UP, or Father Pat Keeler, who was a man I have great respect for. I just can't tell you how lucky I feel to be an architect, and I try to instill in my staff every day how lucky they are and what responsibility they have to their clients and to their community to create good architecture. We don't do a lot of residential work, and I want to credit my wife, Katie, who's here, who was a past speaker at this series. We're taking all these photographs that you see, and she's a wonderful wife and very talented photographer, as you can see. So, I grew up, I wanted to be a Renaissance man. That's what I used to tell my kids. When they ask you what your daddy does, you tell them, my daddy's a Renaissance man. He's not an architect, he's not a developer, he's not a musician, he's not a whatever. He's all of those things, because I went to Rome and I learned that Michelangelo and Da Vinci and those guys, they did it all. So why couldn't I? I studied architecture there, and I came back and said, you know what? I'm going to go to Buffalo and I'm going to be a Renaissance man. So one of the things I do is develop property. And these are slides of the properties we started developing in 2002. And I wrote a personal mission statement at that time to focus solely on the downtown, to take empty buildings and to revitalize them. And we're still doing it, and I've learned so much through this process. I've learned about the housing market in Buffalo. I've learned about historic preservation. I've learned about banking. I've learned about accounting. I've learned about the tax credit system and how you can sell these tax credits to syndicators and create thousands of sheets of paper that attorneys create. And I'm willing to wrap my brain around all that because it's very lucrative. And it makes these projects possible. We have an issue in Buffalo. We need gap financing to make these projects reality. And that's how we do it, by using a historic federal and state tax credit program. It's a wonderful program. Bob Shigley can tell you what all these things mean, but I'm just going to let that slide go. But we do study in neighborhoods, and we do study everything about Buffalo in the downtown, and I think we really do understand what makes it tick. These are new projects we're doing now. We're working on Swan Street, putting a 50-unit apartment building into these great old structures built in the 1890s. And we're going to be doing another one on Niagara Street, which will be part of, right on the Gateway project that the city is doing. So I just want to summarize by saying I feel blessed to do what I do today in Buffalo at this time of our renaissance. We have so much going for us. To be my age, in my career, I couldn't ask for better timing. And I just think this was a fun night, so thanks for including me.